Hey guys, what's going on? Sherman here. And I've been wanting to do this video for a little while now. And that is on my updated Bugout system. This is my main component. This is my main grab-and-go Bugout bag. Now, I have another one. It is the big green range bag that you saw in my video that I made, I don't know, 5 to 6 months ago. That was my Bugout bag then. Now that is a secondary component. It has my cooking equipment, like my stove in a can. It has my other cooking equipment, such as my mess kit. It has a spare pair of clothes. So basically, it's kind of like the luxury items. I would definitely try to grab that if I could as well. Or I'd take that like camping or whatnot. Now, this is just my system as of right now, which is September 8th, 2012. Now, there are some things that I would like to put in here that are not in here. So this is not my complete setup yet. I'm sure I'm going to get comments like, well, why are you going to do a video on an incomplete setup? Well, because I don't know when I'm going to get those components. But I did want to do this video because I have been getting a bunch of requests on showing my Bugout bag. Now, like I said, some items that I would like to add to this. I do not have a firearm or a ton of ammo in here. I'd probably add ammunition to my secondary bag. And a firearm would probably be on me. I do not have a survival saw. I would like to have one of the folding saws in this, but the one I'm looking for isn't available at the moment. I'd like to get a small shovel. I'd like to get some kind of small hatchet or a big fixed blade, which I do not have yet. So like I said, this is not a complete system as of right now. So please don't condemn it for that and say that, yeah, get the keyboard commandos going. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys, this is my system as of right now. Like I said, this is my Maxpedition Pygmy Falcon 2. Made a few modifications to it. Weight, I'm sure a few of you are going to be curious about that. This weighs about 13, 14 pounds, somewhere around there, maybe 15. Haven't weighed it lately, maybe even more than that. It's not too bad. A lot of people, they're used to carrying 75 pounds of gear on their back, so this is nothing compared to to what some people are used to. But it is a lot more than what a lot of people are used to. So, but keep that in mind. This is not an everyday carry. This is my Bugout system. And, I want to shed a little philosophy onto that real quick about your Bugout system. This isn't, prepping isn't necessarily, you build a bomb shelter because you're afraid the Japanese are going to attack. Or, you're afraid of some kind of nuclear holocaust. Or anything like that. We don't walk around wearing tinfoil hats and gas masks all the time. No, prepping, this I can use for natural disaster. The hurricanes that have been sweeping the coast lately. Okay? Something like that. There's a hurricane coming. You're either going to stay and you're going to need stuff to survive. So you have this pack that you can carry with almost everything you would need to survive. I think it's safe to say there's enough stuff in here to keep you alive if you know how to use it properly. Okay? So if you stay, you have equipment right there, because the floodwaters are coming in, electricity is going to be out, you're going to be without power, you're going to have people panicking, you're not going to be able to just go to the store and get whatever you need. So you're going to want to prepare. Obviously you're going to want to get, you're going to want to get a bunch of water and food beforehand, and then have something like this. Okay? If you have to have if it's a mandatory evacuation situation, you'll want to carry something like this around with you. You're going to have items necessary to help you survive comfortably in a strange environment. So, perhaps a riot occurs or some kind of civil unrest, and you might be on your own. You might just want to go and try to duff it somewhere else. So, you're going to have this. You're going to have a lot of your not convenience, but your feel-good stuff. You're going to have some stuff in here to keep you clean, keep your personal hygiene up, stuff to make a fire, possibly, if you're in that kind of environment. Pack some stuff that is going to keep you entertained. like word search puzzles, whatnot. Love a bunch of paracord if you're like me and just like to make paracord bracelets and lanyards for fun. Then you want to keep stuff like that in here, Food, snack foods, water, of course, is a must. Okay, so this isn't just for an oh wow, end of the world situation. No, that's not just what this is about. This is for mandatory evacuations, having to hack it out in an urban environment and a woodland environment. This isn't just for WROL or when fit hits the shan. Now, yes, this could this will suffice in that kind of application. But I'm saying that is not just what this is for. I highly recommend having a bug-out system for either a bug-out system for each one of those type of events, or one that can encompass all of them. Okay, a lot of people preach against hybrid packs, meaning ones that'll be good for urban and woodland environments, because then you're going to have pardon my French, but a half-assed version of both. But mine, because I live in kind of a half urban, half woodland environment anyway, I have some stuff in here that will suit me well in both. Now, I am not a survival expert by any means. I've not had survival training. This is stuff in here based on my personal experience and just from stuff that I've watched here on YouTube from experts. Okay? So take this video for what it's worth. This is my personal survival pack, basically. I'm not telling you how to pack yours. I'm not saying things you must have. I'm showing you mine, and I'm going to give some recommendations and stuff you should carry in yours. Okay? Just wanted to get that out of the way. I'm just the average, everyday guy. I don't have military training, not law enforcement. Like I said, I've never been in any kind of survival school. So take everything with a grain of salt. But I imagine most of you have never had any of that training as well. So this is the average Joe's approach at a bug-out bag. Alright? So, see if I left out anything. Don't think so. Alright, anyway, I've replaced all my zipper pulls with these kind of visible orange and black zipper pulls. That's not that necessary, per se. But it does make these easier to see in a low-light situation, or low-light environment, whatever you want to say. That's going to help a little bit for me, anyway. So, on the back here, I have this little battery-powered glow stick, I guess you can call it. It has a flashlight on the front of it, and that cap removes, and it has a whistle. Looks kind of like one of those tactical straws people are making out of titanium. So anyway, main function, like I said, is a flashlight. Press it again, flashlight, and the glow stick part lights up. Press it again, the flashlight turns off, and you just have that glow stick. So like I said, you can put that on your pack, and you'll be easily seen if that's what you want. And yeah, it's good. Like I said, for if you're walking, you're walking alongside of a highway, you want drivers to be able to see you. If this is your get home bag, like say if you have a get home bag, you put it in your car. If your car breaks down, you need to walk home, or you just don't want to get run over, or anything, camping, whatnot. Press it again, and it strobes. That's good for getting people's attention. So these are really cool. These are pretty cheap. You can get these. I've seen these at I got this at Walmart, but I've seen these at Walmart's, Targets. I've seen them in some grocery stores. You can get them online. I forgot who they're made by, but forgive me for that. Actually, yeah, it says. I'm sorry, Life Gear. So just look up Life Gear online, and you'll see these. Like I said, I think I got this for like $2.99, and they come in a bunch of different colors. Red, green, blue, and then there's indigo and pink, but the pink looks like red. The indigo is just a deeper shade of blue than this purple, which just looks blue, so it doesn't really matter. Basically you have blue, red, and green. So I have that on the outside. Also on the outside, I just have a few larger zip ties. You never know when those might come in handy. I used to have on here a big climbing carabiner, but that's actually on my keys. You guys have seen that in my EDC rotation. Also, as a redundancy, I just have some glow sticks strapped to the back of the pack right here. Or the side, I mean. Just a few redundant items, so it's basically 2 glow sticks and then 1 battery-powered one. You know, it's always nice to have those on hand. In the military, they use them as markers to mark wounded or dead. Not to sound morbid or anything. On the side here, in one of the water bottle pouches in here, I have a just a emergency rain poncho. It's not one of the good ones you can get. This is, you know, cheap $10, not even $10, $4 one. You can get it at Walmart. I think it's a Coleman brand. You know, just for emergency. And at the bottom here, I have an SOL survival bivy. And what this is kind of like a sleeping bag. It has the inside of it is kind of like that, kind of like the reflective thermal blanket. Comes in this nice little waterproof bag, cinches up. Like I said, just look up SOL bivy. Survive outdoors longer. As it comes in this nice little pouch. That's what it looks like on the outside. It's high visibility orange. That might be good for some of you guys, not good for others. I would want to be seen. So, it's very nice. I might do a video of it in the future. Honestly, I'd like to get another one if I was going to do a video on it, because I don't think I'm ever going to get that rolled up again and put it back in here. So, I have that in there. Like I said, it's not ideal sleeping. It's not an ideal sleeping bag or anything like that, but this could keep me alive if I'm going into hypothermia, body's wet, and it's just a comfort thing. So it's just in there. This is stuff for survival. Take a sip of my morning coffee. All right. Also, I have a small Maxpedition water bottle. This is a 24-ounce version. I think this can fit a 32-ounce Nalgene, so I would preferably have that in there. I just stuck this in there for now. It's aluminum. I like it more because you could cook out of it, boil water in it, whereas you couldn't with a Nalgene. You know, I'd like to upgrade that system as well. Preferably, I'd like to get one of the jet boils, but like I said, as for the future, this is just my kit as of now. On the bottom here in these little bungee straps is a Shemagh. I'm not going to take that off because it actually took a while to get that in there. And I did a video of this little system a while back ago. But in case you guys never saw that video, you got a ton of paracord right here and a Cobra stitch. What this is my modified waist strap. So that will act as a waist strap. I will show that in the full review of my Falcon 2. My Pygmy Falcon 2, that is. So there is a review of this coming, guys. Don't fret. And that is a Southern expression, meaning don't worry. So like I said, I have that as a modified waist strap. It does help a little bit. Just plus this a lot of extra cord there. I don't know how many feet of paracord that would be. A rough estimate, I would like to say about 20 or 30 feet of paracord. Actually, maybe 50 or beyond that, to be honest with you guys. There's a lot of cord. So anyway, there's some extra paracord there. Like I said, it's a Shemagh. Shemagh has 101 different uses. First thing I'd like to get into, probably, and this is just in my opinion, the most important thing in any kind of bug out bag, a home survival bag, a get home bag, whatever you have, whatever kind of system you're trying to make, urban survival, woodland, evac, you know, a homestead type of deal. Anything, I think it has to revolve around the first aid kit. Because if you think about it, that's the one thing that's pretty much life or death. If you're out in the bush and you get a really nasty cut, very, very easily it can become badly infected, and that's a man stopper. You know, even just the slightest wound out in the bush, when you're just out in the middle of nowhere by yourself, can be the difference between life and death. So I think it should, you know, your system needs to have a good first aid kit. Now I have done a video on my first aid kit. I'll annotate it right here. Alright, first of all, like I said, you don't have to do this. This is what I did. I don't know how well you guys can see this. The zipper pull down here. Here, I'll just zoom in so I don't have to pick the pack up. I put a Cobra stitch on here, red and white, which, you know, pretty synonymous with medical colors. I did that because my first aid kit is in this pouch. If I am with a group of people, you know, I need somebody to go get my first aid kit. If I'm wounded, somebody else is wounded, and somebody else other than myself has to get into this bag, I can easily tell them it's in the pocket with the red and white zipper. Okay, so I don't have to explain to them, you know, it's in the front pocket right here, it's the second pocket, you know, zipper, whatnot. People are under stress, they're not going to really make a lot of sense out of something, so this way it easily identifies this pocket with the first aid. It's just something, like I said, that's easily identifiable. And just a little thing I was thinking of. So anyway, peel it open. It's right here. Like what I was saying in my video of this first aid kit, I made this paracord pull. So also you can easily identify this as a medical pack. Just grab it. Oh, that's unscripted, guys. Alright, so it's not that strong after all. Oh well. That's awesome. I'm keeping that in this video. But yeah, guys, that's things you have to contend with. Oh man, things like that breaking. So anyway, that's awesome. This is my first aid kit. Like I said, there's a video on this if you guys want to check that out. I'm not going to open it up and show you. Like I said, you can watch the full review of this, where I go through all the contents in it. But you know, this is not the perfect first aid kit either. But you know, I do have blood clotting agents in here. I have bandages. I would like to get some more, like Israeli trauma bandages and things like that. The bulky dressings. I would like to get some of those. But, you know, I have the shears in here, a bunch of different kinds of medication, you know, pain meds and things like that. Disinfectants. Basically everything you would need. Basically, you know, just the bare essentials are in this, and sometimes that's all you need. You do need just essentials. So it's better than nothing. That's what I have in there. So we got that down there in this big main pocket, or this big front pocket. I don't know how well you guys can see down there. My lighting's kind of bad right here. But anyway, in here in this little slip pocket, I just have a few pens to write some things down, and I have a pencil for when pens don't work. If the ink freezes up, you know, if you're in a very cold climate, the ink will or can actually freeze. I'm not saying how easily it can freeze, but I'm just saying it can. So I have a few different kind of writing utensils and a marker for writing on multiple surfaces. I have one flashlight in here. This is my Maglite XL50, custom Duracoated by KnifeWorks. Buddy Ryan. Great flashlight. Has the strobe, has the two different modes. So I really love that light. Plus it runs on a very common battery. In the same pocket, just a simple Swiss Army knife. This is this is one I've had since I was 10 years old. It's a great Swiss Army knife. Has a bunch of really nice tools on it. On this little keeper, I just have another flashlight as a redundancy. Redundancy is kind of key, guys. You want redundancy on items such as fire starting, first aid, lighting. You just want redundancy of some key items, because this isn't going to work forever. This could break. And I just have a little, just a small roll of white duct tape. And I have more in my pack, so don't comment saying I need more duct tape. And here I have a Write in the Rain notebook, so I can write in any and all situations. A slightly bigger, just regular notebook. A bunch more zip ties. Zip ties can really come in handy, guys. Trust me. Trust me, these things can be a lifesaver. Love zip ties. I have some plastic bags. Here again, can come in handy for a lot of things. Another zip tie in there. 2 more glow sticks. Here again, redundancy. This can provide light. This can be a marker for you or your friends. If you're out in a party, strap this to each person so you know where everybody's at, so you don't get lost. Also, if you're having to attend to a kid, you know, if they have a injury, you know, like I said, you know, they're a kid. You can't just tell them, you know, just stop moving or stop crying. You know, you want to make them feel good so you can attend to their wounds. So the glow stick is something that I think every kid enjoys. I know I always loved them as a kid. You know, keep their mind off the situation. As if you're having to bug out with children, say they're your kids or you're in a group of people and their kids. You know, it's just it's a morale booster. So there's another little added plus to that. In here, a thermal blanket. Very, very, very useful item. And then in the very bottom here is my fire kit, rolled up in this big Ziploc bag. So I'm not going to go through this in too big a detail. I will do a video of this in the future, and like a detailed video, and then link it to this video. But in here, in one of the tube safes from CountyCom, I have some of the stormproof matches linked to the video I did of these right here. Great stuff, and they're in a waterproof tube, so they're always going to be all right, even if this gets drenched. In this little waterproof capsule, I have, I think, a few other regular matches and some lighters. I think I have 2 Bic lighters in there. Box of matches. Redundancy, guys. Redundancy is key. Alright. In here, some fire starting propellant. Here again, in a tube safe. You want to keep your fire starting equipment waterproof. That's crumbled up bits and pieces of one of those discs from my stove in a can, those fuel pucks, basically. I'll put a link to that video in this video as well. There's a few tea candles right there. Yeah, you know, they're the small little candles like you'll put in pumpkins for Halloween. 2 regular candles to provide, you know, just some ambient light. If all your flashlights go out and you don't want to start a big fire, you have some candles. Some jute twine, which is good for starting fire. So here again, another fire starter. This is a backup fire steel. My main fire steel would be on me in my personal kit. It's the Light My Fire steel. This is a backup. This is a ferro rod. So it's a ferrocerium rod instead of just a regular flint. So, and then in this other tube safe right here is chopped up little tiny pieces of fat wood. Which here again I did a video of fat wood as well as a fire starter. I'll link it to this video. So redundancy and this kind of stuff is essential. All right, and you want to practice. You don't want this to be your first time trying to start a fire with some of these tools. You know, you want to practice using your fire steel in a what do you want to call it? You know, safe environment, a controlled environment. Like I said, a bunch of different type of propellants, you know, fire starting material, because you're not always going to have, you're not always going to be blessed with having a great environment. You know, ideal environment for like a bow drill or trying to start a fire, you know, with just a minimal spark. You know, it's going to be very dry. It's going to be nice and, you know, warm. The ground is going to be nice and dry and warm. You know, that's a perfect environment right there. You're not always going to be blessed with that perfect environment. You're going to have to make do with what you have. The ground may be frozen. The ground may be saturated. You know, it might be wet. It might have just rained. It might still be raining. So you want to have a bunch of different options. And Bic lighters don't always work. In cold climates, the butane will freeze up. Okay? Butane won't work. Matches always work. So that's good, but you can't just only rely on matches either. That's why I have the fire steel in there. And I would like to become more proficient in bow drilling. But like I said, don't just know how to start fire in one way, because you're not always going to be given that ability. Okay? Say if you only carry a Bic lighter with you and you're in a cold climate, the Bic lighter might not work. then what? All you brought with you is the Bic lighter, and now it doesn't work. How are you going to make fire? So that's why it's always important to have redundancy and to have fire starting material with you, because you're not always going to have the ability of having that good material on hand in your environment that you're working with. Alright, so that's important. Fire is key. Fire is going to keep you alive. You're going to be able to purify your water, cook your food. It's a huge morale booster. It's going to keep you warm. A lot of the survival isn't just the equipment you have, it's your morale. If your morale drops, you're going to die. I hate to put it so blunt, but if your morale drops and you're just waiting on the end, it's going to come, okay? You got to keep your morale up. In this, I don't know how you guys can see, in the smaller pocket right here, I have 2 bandanas, one camouflage and one high visibility. One for signaling and one for when I want to be camouflaged. Some hand warmers. I just have 1 pack. You know, it's just it's just one of those things, like I said, make you feel good. It's gonna keep you warm. You can put these in your socks. These don't have to just be hand warmers. I would recommend putting these either around your neck to keep you warm, or like I said, put them in your socks and then put your shoes on. It's gonna feel really good if you don't have the ability to make a fire and you just absolutely need to get warm. And then a laminated Georgia state map, because I do live in Georgia. So it's always, in my opinion, it's important to have your state map on hand in your bags. Preferably one that's laminated, because it could get wet. If your map gets wet, then it's useless. Alright, that covers the front pocket and both side pockets here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this and make a part 2. So stay tuned for that, guys. Alright, see you there.